Hey everybody, I wanted to review with you some paragraph structure before you go into doing your first big essay for me. The one thing that I always get from students is they ask me, how long should my paragraphs be? And my answer is always, your paragraph should be as long as they need to be in order to address the point. There is no magic number, I don't think, 5 sentences, 7 sentences, or anything like that. I think by the time you get into high school, we should be beyond giving you word limits like that. And as a teacher, I have found that if I give you word limits and say, like, it's 7 sentences, then that's all you're going to do for me. And you may actually be giving me 7 sentences, but that doesn't mean that they're 7 good sentences. So this is a color-coded example of a paragraph that I wanted to show you. And you can see that the topic sentence is in red and the concluding sentence is in red as well. The first half of the paragraph is in green and the last half of the paragraph is in blue, and this is directly related to what you are going to be writing about. What's important about your paragraphs is not necessarily how long they are, is that they are concise and that they are tightly unified, okay? And you can hear my cat jingling in the background probably. What I mean by concise is that you get directly to the point. Do not ramble off topic. You don't need to give me a huge plot summary. This is not a book report. You only need to tell me the most important information that I need to know in order for you to make your point, okay? Because in a book report, you simply rehash the information. In this, you're doing a thematic analysis, so you're actually creating your own ideas. So the first thing to do is to have a clear topic sentence, which is right here. Often while on a quest, a hero faces temptation. That tells me, that first sentence tells me what the rest of this paragraph is going to be about. The rest of this paragraph better be about a hero facing temptation. Then what you're going to do in the first half of your paragraph is you have to define what temptation is according to Joseph Campbell's quest pattern. And you have to put it in your own words. If you take a single sentence from that handout that I gave you, it is then plagiarism. And I then have the right to give you a 0 on your paper because that is plagiarism. So you can see how I have this paraphrased in my own words. This temptation is typically in the form of a woman, but temptation can come in many forms in the archetypal pattern. It could also be a vice, such as drinking, food, or a drug. This temptation may test the hero's will to complete the task, or it may actually stall the hero for a moment in time. Right there, we have 1, 2, 3 sentences defining what the step is. So whatever you're talking about, the call to adventure, refusals of call, road of trials, belly of the whale, whatever it is, put that in your own words. Then you're going to connect it to your text. You guys are obviously talking about Gilgamesh, but for my purposes, I'm going to use something different. In the film Serenity, Captain Malcolm Reynolds is tempted by government agents, his enemies, to hand over a young girl for government testing. They offer him payment and the freedom to work in space as a pirate without the fear of their retribution. Ironically, Reynolds actually has a woman on his ship who is a courtesan. She never tempts Reynolds sexually, but he does struggle with his romantic feelings with her. Temptation is one of the many tests a hero faces on a quest. Right here, you don't need to know the entire plot line of Serenity in order to get the point. We have our character name, who he is tempted by, and what they tempt him with, okay? One thing that I did not put in this is I did not input what his answer is because the idea of temptation is that it stalls him from the quest. So maybe I'm going to throw that in here. Reynolds refuses their offer because he is staunchly, staunchly against the unified government. Okay, so there we go. We have the answer of what the temptation is, all right? The last thing here in red is our concluding sentence. You have to put a neat little bow at the end of your paragraphs. And what I usually like to say about a concluding sentence is that 9 times out of 10, a really good concluding sentence could switch places with the topic sentence. And in this case, temptation is one of the many tests the hero faces on a quest. All right, this ties everything together and we go full circle so that we see everything in this paragraph is about temptation from beginning to end, okay? So keep that in mind as you're writing, and it's one thing that I definitely look for is how tightly unified the paragraphs are. It is better in the rough draft process for you to write more than what is necessary and then have a peer edit look at it and then trim stuff down. But take a look here and see how I got straight to the point. We have the text, we have the character's name, and you only need to know what the temptation is and what he was tempted with. I'm going to guess none of you have seen Serenity, but you get the idea of the argument that I'm trying to make here, even though you haven't actually seen the movie. So I hope this helps, and I look forward to reading your essays.